Hey everybody. This is my 3-part series, or maybe 4-part series of contracting the coronavirus, and this is the last part, so in case you haven't seen the previous ones, check out my Instagram and Facebook and whatnot, because Twitter has some restrictions.
Oh, hello. Hi there. This is scary.
So, I wanted to update earlier. It's just the trajectory of the virus was kind of like, okay, I should update. Okay, that's not, basically like a roller coaster. So let's kind of go over how it started. And of course, I am not a doctor. This could be different for everyone, but I did actually go to a respiratory clinic. I got tested and I got diagnosed. So here's how it happened. Went to a convention, thought I was safe. In hindsight, it was probably a really terrible idea, but it was still the early March and there were really, if you look at the graph, no confirmed cases, right? And I kind of vlogged this whole experience. I even tried, because I have a suppressed immune system, I take immune dullers, I guess you could say. It just lessens your immune response. So instead of flying back from the convention, I drove for 8+ hours. So I recorded that too. And I started getting a sore throat. I had a little bit of a fever. And I was just like, okay, it's the con crud. It's no big deal. And then a couple weeks ago, a week and a half ago, my fever started spiking at kind of 100 degrees and went up to 103 degrees. And I'm like, at this point, when your fever is 103, nothing is real. You're like, basically David After a Dentist, if you've ever seen that really old meme video where it's like, is this real life? And
I'm smushing my face against the pillow because that's where my pain is. Ow, 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 ow.
So I ended up going to a clinic where I had to do a lot of calls back and forth to see if they'd even accept me, and they accepted me, and they basically told me, like, come on down, and they tested me for, it was kind of scary. If you see my other videos, they're clad in, as they should be, in all the PPE they could possibly find, which kind of inspired me to follow this route of how do we enable people that have 3D printers to create their own and help the movement and help, our world. That's neither here nor there, and I'm squirreling out a bit. I didn't want to go to the doctor until I started having breathing issues. So because they told me, because you're not able to breathe, that fast tracks you.
Now it's kind of hard I can feel like I'm running out of breath more quickly than I would usually.
And essentially she diagnosed me right there as being textbook. She said, we'll go ahead and swab. I don't know if you can tell, but basically I have a severely deviated septum. Look down my nose. And, it was hard for the novice. They were training a lot of people there. I felt like I got superstar treatment. They basically ruled everything else out. She gave me a paperwork saying that I was diagnosed, and then I got tested. And I could go and get an antibody test, but it would take like 4 hours and to get a blood test to absolutely confirm. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I have it. I feel like I have it. I've never experienced anything like this. Thank you guys for all of your support and basically reaching out about the breathing exercises. So the doc sent me home with an inhaler, like a renewed prescription for my inhaler, because I had exercise asthma and it really was kicking in, and it was like a werewolf experience, and it still is to this day. At like the crack of midnight when the moon comes out, I basically can't breathe, and I just feel like really weak, and it's getting less and less every single day, but this has been about a week and a half or like 2 weeks at this point. I also forgot something that was really important. So the day that I was diagnosed, actually the next day, I received a call from a third party, like Ministry of Health or something of health, and they were doing like contact tracing, where it was basically like, okay, when do you think you got it? Because it could have been a month ago that you got it. And I was like, I thought it was only incubating for 2 weeks. And they're like, we don't know that yet. We don't really have all the information. So they asked me, like, who was I in contact with? Who were they in contact with? And then every single day I got a call basically asking about my symptoms. How did they progress? This and that. So even though we don't feel like there's that many steps taken to conquer this thing, there are so many independent organizations behind the scenes that are doing the best they can to, you know, even from a grassroots level, get this thing under control. So yeah, essentially I've just been toughing it out and trying to figure out how I can document my experience for you guys without making it sensationalized, and you know, find some way to also give back. So one of our communities in Geek Beacon, if you haven't checked out my Discord, it's like, I think we're up to almost 4,900 and we just went public, which means that you can even just search in Discord for Geek Beacon and you'll find us. That happened recently. So one of the community members is printing out some headband for masks, basically. So instead of like crippling your ears, you can have a comfortable band, but there's some challenges there because a lot of, you know, the 3D printed, I'm running out of space on my phone. You want to be like, hey, insert medical facility here, use the things we made for you, but they need to follow protocol, they need to be working with the FDA, and there's actually only like one device at the time of this recording that is actually FDA approved that's 3D printed. So I want to give away these bands because I know they're helpful for individual use. So hopefully I can do that in my Twitch stream, which I'm going to try. I have never played Minecraft before. That's another thing we're going to do. So I'd say the like 2 good things that would come from this is that I lost 10 pounds because food did not taste good to me. I just didn't have flavor. I didn't, you know, it was just bland. So I lost some weight and I feel a little bit healthier from that. And then we're starting a Minecraft server and we're doing a lot of events over at the Geek Beacon Discord. So you guys are more than welcome to mine with us or laugh at me on the Twitch stream for me not knowing nor have never played Minecraft for the decade that it's been around. And you know, the worst thing that could have come from this is I found TikTok and I still don't know how to use it. I feel like an elder millennial, like actually trying to use it because I'm like, look, I made food. I'm like, I'm not, I can't do the dances yet. Not to say that I haven't tried, but yes. Again, thanks everybody for your support. Fingers crossed that I'm actually on the way up in the up curve and that there will not be a plummeting down horrible feeling again. But it was definitely it was a roller coaster ride, and I really hope that nobody has to feel that. And again, thank you guys for your support, and I hope to see you on the Minecraft server, avoiding all the creepers. We have to avoid the creepers, right?
Hey guys, Nixie from the editing room here. I decided that I was going to stop editing and run into the brightest light I know, which is overhead and in my kitchen. Probably not the greatest idea, but regardless of which, I wanted to give back to my fellow immunocompromised folk. So if you have a story that you're okay with me sharing, possibly on the stream and whatnot, please let me know in the forum post. I'll put everything in the description. The Twitch I'm going to play to hopefully cheer you up with my bad Minecraft, and you know, the forum post where you can talk about your story, and I'd love to send you one of those mask headbands in exchange. So until next time, thanks so much for watching a non-Linux video, and I promise I'll get back to the regularly scheduled programming now that I can breathe.
Okay.
You got everything?
Yeah, I think so.